Basically, Soulblight is a top-down roguelike. I will explain the game as we go. It's a roguelike. There's a lot of mechanics, so I will gradually introduce you to the nuance. So the one thing that is very different about this game is its progression system, character progression system. Instead of traditional XP and grinding, it introduces something called change system. Basically, every one of those icons represents a personality trait and unlocks a new way for you to gain strength, but only if you act in accordance to the personality it represents.
Right.
Your friend here chose a gluttony, so now he gets a small permanent stat bonus every time he eats a candy, and every other time you can actually look inside and pick up some loot from there.
Almost hence the candy that you gave us.
Yeah, there's a candy, there's a weapon with this other trigger. Second round. Yeah. Here's your inventory. You can equip your axe you found with an axe. Yeah. Okay. So he chose a gluttony. So now when he eats something, actually, he will get a small stat bonus for permanent. And when he eats candy, but when he eats anything, he will get temporary, very short-term buff to compensate the beginning phase of gaining strength.
All right.
So this what we see now is a randomly generated level, as in most roguelike. And basically, we have to find those missing cards because we're in this strange dungeon with a mix of fantasy and steampunk. It's actually it's not a steampunk because steampunk is industrial era. It's more something a bit strange. So this is actually a transmutator. We can use one of those to transform things, but we don't have enough these magical crystals yet. So let's look around for items we can find. Yes, we put the card in here.
So what is the overall narrative point to the overall game?
Basically, you're looking for Soulblight.
Okay.
Basically, you don't exactly know what it is. You know this is a key for ancient technology that have been long forgotten. And basically the world is in a kind of, I don't want to spoil it because we haven't revealed the story yet. So we're looking for this, and you're going through this shattered dungeon, shattered. It's a temple, but the reality there is shattered. The time and space doesn't, obey the standard rules, and you're moving through this, strange place, and gradually learning what is this place, what happened here. Okay, so combat. Combat is built around distance control and stamina management. Okay, wounds, I will explain this later. So basically in Dark Souls you have stamina, you can perform attacks only when you get close to things. It's weak in close combat. So stick. Now. You basically combat is based about stamina control and distance. So basically every weapon you're wielding has two attack values. One is long distance and one close distance. And you actually have to understand what your weapon is capable of. So one-hand axe is can you show the stat screen, the equipment screen? So you have a one-handed axe, and this weapon is extremely good in close combat. So 35 damage in close combat and only 22 in long. So you actually have to stick to the enemy, and then you're using the second attack, which is much more powerful. So you have to. This guy had a spear, so he was able to keep you on a distance, and you have to understand it and use your own advantage. Okay, that's all. We can move on. So you can when you get linked in this close combat, you can use this special action called well, you're very wounded basically. Slam. This was slam. Well, I think you might not survive this. Okay, this is a roguelike, so it's a difficult game. You can try it again. Maybe go with a different thing. So where I was at. Sorry. Combat. So you can understand the distance. And the other thing are wounds. Basically, when you lose all your HP, you don't die instantly. You receive this wound. And wounds are different kinds of. Every wound has a different way of treatment. So when you have like scabbing wound, you have to stitch it up. When you have like bleeding wound, you have to bandage it before you bleed out. And you have concussion, you have to like. This is actually like special path for the hardcore gamers when you don't get pain, but you don't get the way to gain strength. And this is actually we want to play to, this is, you can actually like say, no, I don't want this thing, I can manage without those buffs. And if you do the game with reward, if you are able to pass the game with the game will reward you for that, but it's you can like adjust the difficulty of the game. So when you finish the game, you can actually try to finish it without using. Yeah, you can slam. Use the fists because they are good in close combat. So you have to spam the attack very, very much because they are. You have like a lot of stamina. Fists don't use up too much of stamina. So you have to rapidly attack him. You don't deal him too much of damage, but you can interrupt his attacks. And this is what actually fists are good for. So
now, what are you looking to release? Is it just on PC?
Basically, we're designing game for a controller.
Yeah.
So I would love to release these games on every console I can. But we're a small indie, and you have to be blessed with, Microsoft has to accept you.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you if we're gonna be able to do it, but I would love to. So I'm designing the game, so I'm able to basically, because the most in these days when you have Unity, all those engines, actually the technical part of porting isn't so difficult because this is actually done by the engine for you. What is difficult is not to lose the gameplay while you're porting the game. And I'm actually a huge fan of those controllers, so I actually want the game feel as the best experience with the controller, because most of the PC gamers actually use those often. So
yeah.
So okay. So
what other types of environments are we looking at?
Right now, this is a vertical slice. So we have one, environment here.
Yeah.
So limited, amount of, blocks we're building.
Yeah.
But we want to expand it and build it and build it. We're not sure. We want to add new like lava levels and different vibes, because what we want to do about this game is to focus on the story. And it's a roguelike, and story in a roguelike is a tricky thing because you don't have this linear progression, and we want to focus on that. And if we're able to, if we're satisfied with this one, with our story approach, then we will go to things like additional, environment, different styles of environments.
Yeah.
Right now we're gonna make one environment. We're gonna make it, because right now it's a small there's a limited amount of pieces, so actually you can feel after some play you can feel, but we want to increase it, and nail the story, and then move to additional. Even if the game's if people like the game, I don't see any problem with after release adding some new environment. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Story for me is much more important. To actually for the player to we have this mechanic that gives you this extra bit of how you call it, feeling that you're this character, because you actually, in every move you're doing, you have to actually take into account how your character feels about this, and we want to use it in our advantage.
Yeah. So I see them. He's picking up and collecting items. Are these just to sell, or is there crafting?
Basically, there's something called transmutation.
Okay.
It's a simple system of transforming one item into another. It's not a full-blown crafting. I don't want it to be a crafting game. But basically, there are those transmutators that are one is one is only places when you can use those magical crystals and transform certain things into other things. But there's a lot of items, not because there's this complex crafting, but because most of those items are useful for mechanics, of personality. Like candies, they will cure your hunger, but you also have to eat it when you're a glutton. We have a lot of wounds, so you need different items to tend those, and this is what makes the. Actually, you can use the enemies to kill each other. So I'm not sure if you did this a moment ago because I saw, but basically, those are machines and they don't look for well-being of one another. So this one, for example, like this giant axe, and if you can use him to kill others. You see, he killed the guy, So, it's that extra layer. You have to understand when you are, what's your distance between your enemies, what's your weapon. You actually can build, around. There's also a sneaking approach to the game, so you can sneak around, snap necks. There are different, different walking surfaces. When you're walking through the bridge, you're actually making squeaky noises, and they will alert the enemies, in a nearby and make them attack you. So you have to be aware of many factors. Basically, the game, we're putting many mechanics into the game because it's a roguelike, and we want players to find those and as they play, and at the beginning you probably won't know what the transmutation is, but when you go find a book, read about this transformation of items, try it out, you can actually then use it to your own advantage and slowly, gradually understand the gameplay mechanics, which is kind of complicated, a lot of factors going in, and use it to your own advantage. Basically, at the end of this demo, there's a boss fight. We plan to have boss fights in the game.
And when can players get their hands on the game?
We basically just announced that we're making the game. So 2 months ago, I started to regularly post the thing. A month ago, we started a green light. I was planning to tell everyone vote for us for green light, but we actually passed the green light before we got here. So it's actually not the case. But we're at the beginning of our road. We plan to release the game at the next year. I don't know when. Game development is a complicated process, and I won't tell you 100% when the game will be ready. I want it to be this is my most of the things, but this is my passion project. I I left my job, and I'm putting all the effort. I won't allow it to be half baked before we release it.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hope you